cleaver, a shovel, and like a reaper scythe. I don't know what it's called. I call it a scythe because, or maybe it's like the end of a hook. I could see that. I really want a Prussian though. Easily see some good builds. Let's read this. A pair of conjoined twins, Charlotte and Victor Deshays, formed an emotional bond like none other. The unlikeliness of their successful birth in the 17th century could be described as miraculous, yet it immediately brought about their life of persecution. The twins emerged with Victor, lower body affixed to the chest of his sister, legs twisted around her muscles and organs. He was smaller than Charlotte, grown as if he were an appendage of her body rather than a fully formed boy. As the newborn screeched, so too did the midwife who delivered them, running from home yelling of a demon birthed by a witch. So began the hunting of Charlotte, Victor, and the mother, Madeline. I could easily see that. Like that, I was, when I first saw this killer, I pictured, like, running away from giant groups of, like, with pitchforks and torches, like, burn the witch, burn the witch, burn the devil too. Oh, I easily saw that. The coming years were fleeting memories for the twins, yet they were the closest thing to a normal life they would know. Their journey with their mother was what they believed all children underwent. The games of running and hiding through France's countryside began an ordinary occurrence. At the age of 5, the new challenge to the game was presented. As their mother fell ill, pale and exhausted, Madeline and had no choice but to pass responsibility of collecting food onto Charlotte. The girl, burdened under extra clothing that concealed Victor's protruding body, set out from their forest tent and marched to the nearby town. Through a peculiar sight, she did what she had been trained for, waiting for an opening at the market and swiping whatever food she could. It was a victory in the game, but one short-lived. After midnight, glowing flames surrounded the family's encampment. Bobbing through darkness, a single commanding shout broke the night's silence, and a mob of witch hunters streamed in. Grubby hands tore the twins from their bed, Charlotte frantically kicking all who approached. Madeline cried for her children, her voice abruptly silenced by a club to her skull. Victor shrieked, the wailings of a trapped rat. The hunters coordinated quickly. A judge on hand declared Madeline guilty of witchcraft, evidenced by her demon spawn. Within minutes, they shackled her conscious body to a tree, surrounding her feet with dry twigs and moss. As she awoke, she did not struggle, only begged her children not to turn away. They'd be given no choice. The twins were forced to watch as a torch was lit. They watched as flames leapt up their mother's skirt, charring and sizzling her flesh. They watched as fat dripped from her body, her face bubbled and twisted. And just like this dude, just kinda I watched until the screams that tore her vocal cords were no more, and all that was left was the crackling of embers and nauseating stench. Whatever joy, goodness were in them died with her mother. Again with the freaking, like, with that, that's, Caged and transported to an old wooden temple where they were sold to a secretive group clad in dark cloaks. Victor reacted with the ferocity of a rabid beast at any who approached, clawing and biting. The only solace that could calm him was the embrace of his sister, Charlotte, bitter and hateful to all but her brother, found purpose being his protector. Within the temple, they were exposed to unusual experiments for years, so cruel, many simply baffling. One day they would be made to break the neck of a small gray bird. The next, they would bleed their fingers into a vase of roses. Every seventh day, they would sleep with a branch of a damp oak beneath their pillow. Then there was a chanting, a never-ending chorus from cloaked figures on scheduled intervals. In time, a final experiment was planned. Two robed figures herded the twins to the center of the temple, holding Charlotte upon an altar in a room lit with I don't know how to pronounce that. The wrinkled face of a man peered from under the hood, placing a hand on the forehead of each twin, making them careful examination of their skulls. Memento mori, he muttered, as he drew a shinning blade. Oh, memento mori, remember death. Remember that disgusting mess? How that kind of just... Charlotte rolled to her side, shifting her brother off the altar. With a screeching, he stretched his arm as far as he could, knocking out... I don't know that word either. To the ground, the flames took... Flames took the dry wood immediately. They swept over the floor, igniting the black robes that brushed against it. Screams of agony pierced the chaos, invigorating Charlotte as she dashed through the inferno. Visions of concealed with nothing but black smoke and blazing flame. A painful heaviness filled her lungs. No exit could be found, every step leading to the overwhelming heat. She fell to her knees, suffocating, and when she saw it, sunlight, trees, she stumbled from the fire into dewy grass. Without looking back, she ran into the forest until she collapsed. When Charlotte opened her eyes, she reached for Victor's hand, made no attempt to budge. His body hung helplessly from her torso. She clasped his face, stared into his sad, still eyes. The movements she's still accustomed to, his body pulling at her skin, his legs prodding at the gravity in her chest, were no more. Victor was dead. Victor is also acting kind of weird. Not gonna stop. Wait. Oh, finally, it's... Never mind. Spoke too soon. Charlotte had no choice but to continue moving as she mourned, fearing black cloaks and witch hunters were prowling. She concealed her brother's corpse under her clothing and marched for the sewers of a nearby city. I actually saw her, I imagined her being in like a sewer area, hiding from the people. But I really did. I wasn't gonna say anything. Throughout the years, Victor's corpse rotted as his limbs oozed and blackened, yet his body demonstrated resistance to complete decomposition. If his sisters yet... Wait, what? if his sister's blood still coursed through him, protecting his lifeless body became Charlotte's sole reason for being, refusing to ever be separated, form a family. She had left. Didn't say that right, but you know. Life in her teenage years was a game of survival. Her hatred for humanity grew each day under a realization they would never leave her be, no matter how many died during her botched robberies and desperate attempts to escape. There would always be more to pursue, and sling words and condemnation at her. Monster, demon, witch, or condemnation. Never mind. And it was black cloaks were the worst of them. Their hunt for her was unending, forcing her to constantly abandon shelter and run. For years, Charlotte fled, drawing blood out of necessity, cradling her long dead brother. In the night, during the frigid winter, her body began to break down. Food was scarce and the refuge was rickety shags, and there was no use against the freezing temperatures. Sickle in hand, she sheltered near a campfire in the woods, not knowing if the black cloaks would take her before the cold did. As frost crystallized around her nostrils, and her lips took on a gentle blue hue, Charlotte felt something she'd never experienced. Acceptance. She closed her eyes, opening herself to serenity of death, when a shriek, shrill and vicious, pierced her ears. Victor spasmed and flailed from her chest, a cloud of fog encompassing him. Before he could react, he spilled from her body puddle, landing on the snow and running. Pulling herself from the edge of death, she gave chase, calling his name. She ran through the forest until her legs could hardly carry her, until finally, within her view, was Victor, sitting on the edge of the thick fog, his face twisted and furrowed, screamed as a dark, hooded figure emerged from the fog, grabbed his arm and seized him. The serenity that had crept into Charlotte was extinguished, replaced with the seething hatred and rage. She had deepened on along for the fog. With a tight grip on her sickle, she charged into the fog, prepared to eviscerate any who set foot near her brother. Wow. Awesome. I would look at Ale de Rogotos, but I am leaving soon, so we'll get another video. I am getting Ale de Rogoto, for sure. And I'm gonna use Noet on her. I'm gonna, like, put, Victor right at the, like, one of the exit gates and just camp the other one. And whenever someone tries to, Ooh, wait. That reminds me. Let's go to help and tutorials. Game manual. Game. Effects. Because they added a new effect. Status effects. Effect list. Where's incapacitated? Right. The survivor who is unable to complete most basic actions. This includes healing and mending themselves, and other survivors repairing and sabotaging generators, cleansing totems, searching chests, and picking up and dropping items. That means they can open up the gate, dang it, man. Wait. using as in like using the lever on the gate. If it is, what's gonna happen? Ooh, I'd like to show you guys a build that I've already like imagined in my head. Let's pick a killer that's good with generator pressure. There we go. I would pick Hag. Maybe. Alright, let's do Oppression, right? The new perk Oppression. Let's see here. Where's the perk? Oh, it's right beside it. Overcharge. Right or left? Let's do like, where is it? Where is it? Surveillance. I'm looking for surveillance. Nice. With this, whenever I kick a gen, all of them have a tremendous skill check on them. Surveillance as well. And why not for good measure? Nerving Presence. Or maybe this will increase skill checks by 60%, or like make them harder, basically. Let's do. I would put like. I would put forgot what it's called again. I would put on the Pop Goes the Weasel, but like it's good for only hooks, and I probably want to add something for hooks. Don't want to do that. Let's see here. Oof, I should. Ooh, a fake Terrarius. I hate that interview tape. It's garbage. Terrarius. I don't know if the fake Terrarius still makes him scream, but if I'm trying to drive people insane, don't want unnerving presence. No. No, I don't. You know what I want? Where is it? There we are. Whenever they're in my Terrarius, I'll know. Oh, that's awesome. I have the. Wait. Oh, for sure. That's disgusting. I love it. For the video, I'm gonna redo this video. Sorry about the no intro. Didn't want. I actually kind of wanted this to begin the video. Just wanted to see what the story was for the new killer. Don't care what you do with the video. Please like and subscribe if you want to. It's free. You get notified of my content.